Good evening YouTube, this is Jacob from Team Pyramid. What I want to do today is I want to showcase my Pendulum Magician deck. So let's get into this. So starting with the main deck, let's start with the monsters. So the monsters, I run 3 Purple Poison. This card, I love it. This card itself is when, obviously you can trigger its effect during the battle phase, gives you an extra 1200. When it's popped, you get to pop a monster. What's not to like? Then I run 3 Black Fang, half your opponent's monster's attack, and then obviously you get to special summon one from the grave. Not the best, gonna be honest. I then run 3 Double Iris Magicians, probably one of the best monsters in this deck. So this, when it's popped, it doubles any battle damage that your opponent takes, and then obviously on top of that, when it's popped and it gets sent from the field, then you go ahead and you get your Time Pendulum Graft, your Star Pendulum Graft, whichever one enables your plays. It's just a very good enabler. Then I run 3 Wisdom Eyes. It's a 1 card scale. It is really good. It fixes your scales. There's no other way around it. I run 2 Harmonizing Magicians. This card, I've tried it at 3. I like the balance at 2 because obviously it gives you your Omega plays when you pendulum summon it, but if you can't pendulum summon it, it's just there. That's the reason why I like it at 2. I then run 2 Skullcrabat Jokers. This is just staple in this deck. Obviously when it's summoned, you get to go ahead and search for another performable monster. And in that case, I run 2 Sorcerer, Pendulum Sorcerers. Just good to pop cards on the field. I then run 2 Oath Dragon. This card, obviously, when you've got your Harmonizing Magician in your pendulums in your face up on your extra deck, you want it back to your hand so you can enable more plays. This card allows you to do that. Okay, I then run, just for another tuner if necessary, I run 1 White Wing Magician. Literally just for the fact it's a level 4 tuner. I run 1 Performable Odd Eyes Dissolver. The reason why I run this is obviously if you got your searches with your Skullcrabat Joker and your Sorcerer. This is another performable monster. It's 2000 attack and 2600 defense. It's not a bad monster. It's there in a pinch and it's there to be searchable. My favourite card in the deck, however, and this has won me I can't think of how many games, is Astrograph Sorcerer. I know people play it at 1, some people play it at 2. I play it at 3. Reason for this being is I want this card out on the field as fast as possible. It's a 2500 beta. Whatever magician monster is destroyed, you get to search for that card and add it to your hand. It combos off so well with multiples of them. My personal favourite is when you go from Wisdom Eye, trigger that, get another Wisdom Eye to hand, and then you get to obviously get your scale. Brilliant card. That's it for the extra deck. No, for the main deck, sorry. Now into the spells. So I run 2 Star Pendulum Grafts. It's your searcher. It's brilliant. I run 2 Pendulum Calls. I found if I ran 1, it'd get hit with Ghost Ash. So it's not good running it at 1. You need it at 2. I then run 2 Cosmic Flare. I run later on in this deck. You'll see I run Stardust Dragon. This card allows you to keep Stardust Dragon on the field and continue to use its effect. So I quite like that. And on top of that, just because it's a combo heavy deck, I like to see the combo pieces as fast as possible. So I run 3 Allure of Darknesses and 3 Pot of Desires. It's self-explanatory. I then run, finally, to finish the deck off, I run 3 Time Pendulum Grafts. This card, without a doubt, the most broken trap card for this sort of deck. It's incredible. In fact, it could just stop monsters. It's pretty much a Dryden whenever you want it, and then it triggers once you've sent them to the grave. It sent your magicians to the grave. It triggers their effects as well. It just continues. You can't ask for more. That's it for the main deck. Off to the extra deck. I run 2 Time Star Magicians. This obviously works well with the Time Pendulum Graft. Obviously, when you're triggering Time Pendulum Graft and you go ahead to go and pop your monster, you can save your Pendulum monster with Time Star Magician and pop 2 cards on your opponent's side of the field. I run 1 Sign Frame Lord Omega. I run 1 BLs, 1 Stardust, 1 Clearwing, 1 Ignistus for the mirror matches, 1 Enlightenment Paladin, 1 Trishula, and then run 1 Absolute, 1 Vortex, 1 Abyss, 1 Trapeze Magician, 1 Proxy, and 1 Decode. The extra deck you can play with. You can play with that. That's how I found it. In all honesty, most of the ones I go into is Stardust, BLs, Omega, Time Star, Decode. That's pretty much what I go into. The Trickstar, the Trickstar deck loses quite badly to Trapeze, and that's pretty much what that's in there for. The ABC and then the Abyss Dweller shuts that down. The Ignistus, you can use that for mirror matches. You can use that just as any general Pendulum deck. BLs, not as many of them running around, but True Dracos, it stops that. It's just a very hard monster to get over BLs. Okay, that's really it for the main deck and the extra deck. I do run a side deck. Side deck is always personal preference. I run 1 Maxi, 1 Denkos. I run 1 more Star Pendulum. I run 2 Amazing Pendulums, 2 Floodgate Trap Holes. I run 3 Archfiend Eccentrics. I then run 3 Lecter Pendulum, the Draco Lord. And I also run 2 Victor Pendulum, the Draco Lord. So I run those. These ones are my spicy techs. These ones are the ones I like. I like for when I'm playing against other pendulum decks. I like my Lecter and I like my Victor. So this just shuts down other pendulum decks. Yeah, it hinders you quite a bit, but it also hinders them. It just stops them down straight away. It's fun to play with. Like I said, extra deck is everyone's personal preferences. What I'd like is that's pretty much it. So if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And even if you didn't, please leave a comment in the comments below. I would really like some feedback on these. Obviously, if you think I can improve the deck, please give me some hints of how to do that. If you want to see different cards in there, tell me what they are in the comments below. I'll take them in and hopefully get some live duels for you. I would like to interact with this a little bit more with you guys. So if you go ahead and just leave a comment in the comment box below, and if you really liked it, subscribe to my channel where there'll be more deck profiles coming up soon, some live duels and some character duels. I'm even thinking of doing a segment on building big decks for beginners and starting from step 1 all the way up to Master Rule 4. So thank you very much, YouTube, and this is Jacob from Team Pyramid signing out.